BloodBag Chapter 6. See you, idiot. See you, dead last, Sasuke said as he waved goodbye and left for the Uchiha compound. Go jump off a bridge, bastard, Naruto yelled back. Kane just shook his head at their antics. Naruto turned to face him. Walk me home, she asked with an innocent smile. What? Kane stuttered back. I asked if you'd walk me home, Kane, Naruto repeated with an innocent smile and slight blush. My apartment is that way, Kane said as he pointed in the opposite direction Sasuke went, and a different direction Naruto goes. This is the spot the three always split up at. So, it's late. A woman shouldn't be out this late by herself, she simpered. You're stronger than I am, Kane accused. A large, shit-eating grin spread across Naruto's face. Damn right I am. Now come on. Taking Kane's hand, Naruto began leading him towards the manor she and her father lived at. Kane couldn't help but blush at the hand-holding. The two were silent as they walked. Not a single word spoken all the way back to the manor. As they reached the pathway, Naruto gave Kane a dazzling smile. Thanks, Kane. I'll see you tomorrow. She waved as she left, Kane numbly waving back. As he started the trek back to his place, he paused and changed course for the library. He figured he might as well go since he's closer now than he would be if he left from his apartment. As he continued down the pathway, Kane realized with sudden clarity that Naruto hadn't let go of his hand until they reached the house. Kane stood from the chair and stretched. He spent the entire night reading at the library, and it was time to leave before they opened. Training was going to be very difficult today, running off no sleep. However, he was used to it by this point. He hadn't made any progress, he knew, based on the fact that the chakra paper he used got wet before it did anything else, that his strongest elemental affinity was water. Despite that, the few scrolls he had found on water jutsu weren't helpful at all. He had no idea how to go about learning how to use water jutsu. Maybe he could ask Kakashi-sensei. He hesitated. Was he really going to ask his sensei for help? He hadn't asked anyone to help him with something since he was 6 years old. He told himself he'd think on it and decide later. You're exhausted, Kakashi said dryly as he looked down at his student. I'm fine. Kane was cut off mid-sentence by a large yawn. Kakashi shook his head. You're too tired to keep training today. Head home early. I was only going to have the three of you spend the next couple hours sparring to finish off the day anyway. They can do that without you, he said as Sasuke looked bored, and Naruto looked ready to rumble with Sasuke. I'm going to take the lead back today, bastard, she said heartily. In your dreams, idiot. I'm up by 2. You'd have to win all 3 spars today. Exactly. Date bayo, she spoke triumphantly. I think that's a good idea, Kane said to Kakashi with another yawn. He really didn't have the energy to keep up with those two today. Not that he could keep up to begin with. As he began heading home, he hesitated. Kakashi-sensei? Kane said as he turned around. Kakashi looked up from his smut. Kane hesitated for several moments. It's nothing. Never mind. I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's just so frustrating. I don't know what to do, Jane, Kane sighed out loud. Maybe I should just give up. Maybe elemental jutsu isn't for me. What do you think, Jane? Silence was his answer. Kane sighed again before rolling over on his mattress. Good night, Jane, Kane said with a sad smile, thrown towards the only painting in his apartment. What do you mean I won't be exercising and training with Naruto and Sasuke today? Kane asked in surprise. Exactly what I said. I have something else in mind for you today. Come. Kakashi began walking towards the edge of the training grounds, never taking his eye off his book. Kane followed with trepidation. He could see Sasuke and Naruto going through the usual exercises on the other side of the field. Kakashi came to a halt in front of a lone tree. Kane looked at him in confusion. Climb this. Kane was beyond confused at this point. Sensei, he asked as a way of inquiring for more information. I want you to climb this tree. Alright, Kane said as he slowly began walking towards the tree. The moment he grabbed the lowest limb, Kakashi coughed as a way of getting his attention, without using your hands, still never taking his eye off his book. Today, he would do it. He may have failed to reach the top of the tree yesterday, but today he would totally do it. He glared up at the tree, at the markings, reaching barely a quarter of the length of the tree. Kane, it's time to go, he heard Naruto call out to him from the bottom of the tree. He looked down to see Sasuke and Kakashi Sensei standing behind her, one looking bored and the other reading a novel. I'm gonna stay and keep training, Kane called back. He was so close. He would lose his footing near the top of the tree every time. He needed to get this mastered. Then he'd finally be better than Naruto and Sasuke at something. Okay, good luck, Kane, Naruto called back as the three of them turned and made their way out of the training grounds. He could do this. He would do this. By the end of the night, he swore he would master the tree climbing exercise. Kane walked to the training grounds, sporting a huge grin on his face. Naruto and Sasuke was already there, and both took note of his good mood. What are you so happy about, dead last? Sasuke asked in interest. I bet I know. You mastered the tree climbing exercise, didn't you, Kane? Naruto asked with a huge grin spreading across her face as well. Yep, I sure did, Kane answered back. He just couldn't stop smiling. He had finally had something over Naruto and Sasuke. Maybe when it wasn't their turn, they'd ask him for advice. His grin grew ever wider as the three of them continued the long wait for Kakashi. Oh, you completed the exercise, did you? Good job, Kane. I'm proud of you, Kakashi said with his trademark eye smile. Kane felt a swell of pride flow through him. So, who's going next, Naruto or Sasuke? Kane asked, wondering which of the two would be a sparring partner for the next few days as the other one did the exercise. Oh no, neither of them would be doing the tree climbing exercise. Both of them mastered that a long time ago. It was like a bucket of cold water had just been dumped on top of him. Naruto and Sasuke both already knew how to do the exercise? Of course they did. Of course they did. Why had he been so stupid? Of course they'd mastered that already. As if he would ever catch up to them. Come on, it's back to the regular routine with your teammates now, Kakashi said as he walked off. His good mood was completely ruined. He didn't understand why, but the library had a restricted section that you had to have clearance for. Well, at least you were supposed to have clearance. But there wasn't an Uchiha Corps police ninja standing guard to check you when the library itself was closed. Kane had frequently visited the restricted section since being a child. Let's see. No. Come on. Here we go. Kane thought with glee as he grabbed a book titled A-Ranked Water Ninjutsu. He wasn't sure how much help this would be. He couldn't even do basic water ninjutsu, but this was still worth a shot. As he was about to wander off to read the novel, he paused and took in a title of the book next to it. A history of the Jinchuriki. What's a Jinchuriki? Kane asked himself. Sabaku no Gara. Man, he sounds like an important guy. He should be around my age too, youngest son of the current Kazekage, Jinchuriki of Shukaku. The guy just oozes importance. He's probably stuck up like Sasuke, and Kane couldn't help but think to himself, so what's the strongest demon then? As he skipped ahead to the section labeled Kyubi no Kitsune, the nine-tailed fox currently residing in a host in the Leaf Village. What? The Kyubi is still here. I thought the fourth Hokage killed it. The current host is... He dropped the book onto the table in shock. He couldn't have read that right. He reread the line once, twice, thrice, and everything clicked into place for Kane. why he was hated, why the villagers despised him, why the other children were told to stay away from him, why he was bullied, why he struggled to even eat on a daily basis. He was the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. End of chapter. Alright, thanks for sticking around to the end. It's the end of chapter 6 of BloodBag by Tradox. And we'll get the next one out soon. Thank you for listening. I'll be back, guys. Appreciate it.